our next speaker is Andrew Scott from Arcadis. Short and sweet. It's Cesium and architectural design. Come on up. Give him a hand.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Andrew Scott, and I live and work in Toronto, Canada. And over the next 4 minutes and 50 seconds or so, I'm going to take you through 3 projects that I worked on that would not have been possible without Cesium. So this project, this image that you see here, actually doesn't feature any Cesium-generated imagery at all. My colleagues and I at Arcadis, what we did was we used Cesium to determine how our proposal here, the orange building in the center, how it would actually look amongst an existing skyline. So I took a bunch of site photos, that's how we started off, and then using Unreal and the Cesium plugin for Unreal Engine, we imported the SketchUp model that we had into Unreal, added a bunch of materials, and added a bunch of virtual cameras in the actual physical locations that I took the photos from. I took about 10 photos in total, all around this specific area. And then we also used the Cesium Sun Sky to match the lighting to the exact time of day and the exact day that I took these photos. We also matched the camera settings to try and get everything as close as we could to match. So we used Cesium to figure out the correct perspective for this image. Here's another example. Everything you see in the image is basically photography except for the building models, which we rendered in Unreal, and then basically just cut out and composited in Photoshop. So I took this approach for this specific project because our client's priority was that these images were as accurate as possible. This proposal, if built as proposed, would have been the tallest building in the whole area. So they wanted to be honest about that and depict its impact and fit as honestly as they could. This was a view study that I did for a project adjacent to Niagara Falls that does feature Cesium-generated imagery in the form of Google photorealistic 3D tiles. This was a view study that was requested by the high-res design team that I work alongside. And this proposal for 2 mixed-use towers adjacent to the falls, they wanted to figure out how they could mass these 2 towers so that as many of the units as possible, or the hotel suites in some cases, would feature views, as many unobstructed or partially obstructed views rather than completely obstructed views of the falls, both Canadian and American, as possible. So I put together a bunch of design packages, and this is just one of many images. Here's another example. This was rendered completely in Unreal, no post-processing at all. This is exactly as it appeared in Unreal. And part of what the design team that I worked for, their vision, it included a glass observation elevator, as well as a rooftop infinity pool and a public observation deck. So what I did is I produced this package of views to show the client. But I thought, we're using real-time technology in the form of Unreal and the form of Cesium and the Google photorealistic tiles. It makes sense to create something interactive as well. So I built a really simple first-person interactive walkthrough of these spaces and was able to take our client on a kind of journey up the observation elevator, past the pool, which was animated, and out onto the observation deck and show them these views as they would appear as built. And one of the most, I guess, rewarding aspects of this project was that in a meeting with the client, they asked for like how long it would take to produce another view package similar to the image that I showed previously. And since I had this all set up in Unreal and with Cesium, I was able to say no time at all. I pulled up the Unreal file in the meeting and was able to answer a bunch of their questions right then and there. And that helped secure a lot of trust with the client and the next phase of work. Ooh, that's fun. This is a really simple massing model for a site in Toronto. It's currently under construction. There's a new subway station being built, but there's a transit-oriented community planned for it. But this is a view study I did kind of in my personal time because I realized that this street that it's on, it's one of Toronto's main streets, it runs right through the financial district, it actually curves at this site. So it would have this, in my opinion, spectacular view of the downtown core, as well as the CN Tower and the lake. And it's kind of this protected view because of its actual geographic location. And this is not something I would have been able to test without Cesium. This was all rendered in Unreal, and yeah, I want to thank Cesium so much for the opportunity to speak today. Can't wait to meet and talk with more of you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.